Alright, let's just stop it right there. I think you guys get the point. You guys know I can't play it, I know I can't play it, but I still enjoy just playing a little bit of air guitar to Van Halen's Right Now. Every time I hear that song, I always think Lakers. When I go to Laker home games, I go, sit wherever the hell I sit. Lots of players come out to the tunnel. They play the Van Halen song. I think championships. I think history. I think Lakers Van Halen song. I don't know about you guys, but that's how I see it. So, hey, I just want to have a little bit of fun. Saturday morning, want to start the day right. But yes, for this video for you guys today, what I want to go over is actually episode 2 of some of the other pieces I didn't quite get to because I was in a rush for the Laker game in the last video that I put together for you guys. So, in this episode, I want to go over a few more pieces that I have in my collection that I kind of want to talk about that are actually really, really special, a little bit of history to them. Again, I didn't quite have the time to get to them in the last video because I was on my way to the Laker game in Orlando, which they didn't win. I brought them a lot of bad luck. I just seem to have that kind of luck with me a lot of the times, whether I go to games on the road or at home. This year hasn't been so bad. I've been to, can't even count, 3 Laker road games, and I've been 3-0. So my first game at Staples, they lost. But besides that, they play Houston tonight. Hopefully we get Anthony Davis back. We'll see if Caruso's playing. I think this is the first game of their 5 or 6 game road trip. So hopefully they can start off right and get back on that winning style. But again, I'm going to get right to it, show you guys a few other extra pieces as well as some of the newer jerseys that I've added since my last videos. I think going 3 videos back. So let's get to it, guys. Alright now, mates. First piece I want to show you guys are some pieces that are called cachets. Not sure if you guys have seen these around before or have heard of them, but they are about the size of a mailing envelope. And these are very unique in a sense to where you can see that they're autographed, but the images of the players on these, they're actually a silk image of the players, and then you have the signature that I've been able to acquire throughout the years, as well as a little bio and history of the players themselves. Now, a lot of these actually came out between late 80s, early mid-90s. You can see this one here is the George Mickelson. And what's cool is it also even has the stamps with between that time frame of when these were actually released. You can see this one here, 1991. George Mickelson is also 1991. Then we'll come over here. This one is the Gail Goodrich. This one, I believe, came out in 1995. And then down here, you have the Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. This one was released in 1989. And what I like about this piece here is, I talked about this in my last video with Kareem. Usually, you're most likely to see Kareem Abdul-Jabbar with just the signature of Abdul-Jabbar. But with this one, he signed it K Abdul-Jabbar, which is still kind of rare. I have one piece on my board that says Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, which is super rare. He usually does not sign a signature other than just Abdul-Jabbar himself. But those cachet pieces, you see a few other of my bobbleheads here. But these cachet pieces, as well as 2 other ones I'm going to show you guys, are really rare to come by. And you just don't see them around as often as you used to. So this is another one here by Magic, released 1992. Got this one signed at a book signing event that he had a couple years ago. And then this one right here, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. God, I can't seem to say his name right today. Which is also signed K Abdul-Jabbar, released 1988. So really cool pieces of these in the collection. Again, you don't see too many of these around anymore. If you do see them on eBay, they go for a nice price. You could pick these up somewhere in the range of about $60, $70, $80. Just kind of depends, on who you're buying it from. But yeah, cachets, again, really cool stuff, guys. Really cool stuff. All right, now this is too good of a piece for me to not share with you guys. But obviously, this is a Lakers ticket from the 2003 Lakers season with Karl Malone on the cover. But as you could probably tell, that is not Karl Malone's autograph. So the interesting story behind this ticket is the fact that when I went to this game back in 2003, I was leaving my seats and I was heading towards the restroom. On my way to the restroom, I happened to have passed Anna Nicole Smith. And I'm not really sure where she was going. I really don't care where she was going. But I happened to have noticed her. stopped her and asked her, if I can get a picture with her. She said no, but she said, I will sign your ticket if you have your ticket stub. And I said, I do. And she signed my ticket for me. I went back to my seats, and, it was a very short incident. We didn't really have a conversation. It looked like she was in a hurry. Maybe she was going to take a piss or something in the restroom or going to her box seat. I don't really fucking know, mates. But went back to my seat, told my dad and my sister that I had ran into Anna Nicole, and he was just like, what? You didn't get a picture with her? Like, how dare you, I was like, dude, she wouldn't let me take a picture with her. She said she'd only sign my ticket, which was kind of a funny story at the time. I mean, I guess telling the story, it's not as meaningful or as funny to you guys. But what's really crazy about that incident is the fact that shortly after, like maybe 3 or 4 months later, she had actually passed away, which was really sad to hear. So as I had gotten the ticket signed, I was kind of like, man, like she fucking kicked it and passed away. And so I kind of don't regret getting the ticket signed. So it's kind of an interesting conversation piece. People see that, as well as some of the other tickets I'm kind of showing you guys here that are behind my door. But Anna Nicole Smith, man, signed Laker ticket. Who knows what that's worth? I haven't been able to really look that up. But again, another interesting conversation piece in the shrine. All right, now we're going to kind of make our way where the Lakers shrine begins, which is in the hallway of my room. And in here, I definitely want to go over just a few pieces, not every individual piece that I have in the hallway here, but I definitely want to go over and talk about this game-issued, possibly worn Eddie Jones rookie season Laker jersey. So check this out. I was actually on Craigslist probably about 6, maybe 7, 8 years ago when there was a guy that was selling this jersey, and he didn't know much about it, just based on his description. Fortunately, he had, you can see some of the tags down there. It's upside down, but you can see the signature right on the jersey itself. So the guy, I don't really think knew what he had, because it was an older guy, maybe in the 70s. He said the jersey was a hand-me-down, and he said he was just trying to make room in his garage. So he didn't have a price listing for on his Craigslist posting. So I'd asked him, okay, hey, what are you asking for it? And he said, hey, I just need it out of my garage. If you will take it for $70, it's yours. Again, this was another fucking scenario where I couldn't get the money out of my wallet any quicker, because I was expecting a couple hundred plus, because you can see it's framed and mounted here. It's framed and mounted, sealed down. But based on the tags that I'm seeing, it's hard to tell if it's a game issued or worn. It could possibly be issued by the organization, and it was like one of those raffle giveaway items. I don't know, but the fact that, again, the store that goes behind this, the value of this, just the Eddie Jones 25 jersey itself is probably worth a couple $100. And that's just through a Mitchell and Ness. This is a possibly, again, issued or worn. We don't quite know. Definitely has some value, and again, it's signed. So thank you, Mr. Henderson, for the $70 sale. It probably sits in the shrine in the Sparrow hallway here. So thank you again. Right here is my collection of Laker pins. There probably has to be somewhere close to about 400, maybe 200 to 350 pins, I'd say, give or take. And what this is this a cork board that sits behind this old Laker banner. And what we did, again, another father-son project, what we did throughout the years was, as we started to collect and ran out of room to display all the pins, we made the cork board. We pretty much made the frame for the cork board, and then just pretty much put the banner on top of that and kind of made a frame for it. And then just throughout the years, as we started to collect, we just put the pins all on the board. And at this point right now, we have seriously run out of room. We probably got a few spots that we could probably put over the player jerseys. We don't really want to do that, but as we've collected a few more pins, we're kind of like, okay, like we might consider making another customized corkboard frame for this. But no duplicates, a lot of really rare pins on here. I mean, some super rare ones. You have this Kobe one as a limited edition from China, and so on and so forth. There's a lot on here for me to go over. But again, Another father-son project, another cool piece. Again, a lot of rare pins on here. Definitely had to share this with you guys. All right, now this is another super rare piece that I've never seen anybody actually have. This is one of two pieces that I actually have in my collection. The other one sits behind a couple items on my desk. But this one here is actually a tile floor piece from the Great Western Forum that I'm not really sure how they took out because it's in like perfect shape all around the edges. As you guys can see this, it's got the Forum logo on here. You can kind of see, and it has like a chiseled edge to it, so it's not like it's a rough finish. I'm not really sure what this is right here, but then it says Forum, and again, I'm not really sure what the centerpiece is. You'll see them over on the corners here, but you have, you know, the logo of the Forums, which has the Forum name written probably about 3 or 4 times here in the center. But amazing piece, and my dad actually picked this up for me. You know, again, you'll hear me say my pops and my dad quite a few times because this was a father-son project that we had started putting together back when I was a teenager. You know, I don't know if I would have had the collection that I have without his help and design dedication of going to these signing events, finding these particular special pieces. So my dad kind of jump-started what I have today, and I've just kind of taken off from there. And even now as a buyer, I look for a lot of particular items, and like I said in the past video, I just tend to look for those super rare pieces, mate, that you just don't see around, nobody has, and sometimes it's worth paying the extra bucks because, again, they're that rare. You just don't see them. So again, I'd like to know a little bit more history on this. Let's see if we could turn this around. Yeah, see, that's the back side of the tile. There's nothing else written on here. There's no nameplates. There's no, you know, certificate of authenticity or anything. No information really at all. But from the guy that I bought this tile from, yeah, he had said that, yeah, these were only like a limited release of these tiles because a lot of them were actually cracked, broken, chipped, and extremely just demolished when they saw a 10 out of the floor. So again, another rare piece in the collection. Doesn't really get any more game worn than that from the actual Forum. And this is about I'd say about a 8x8 piece. It's pretty big. So it's about your basic size of like a tile that you'd see like on a floor. So that's that. All right, now this piece here is a canvas signed by the 2009 Lakers championship team. This is got everybody's autograph on here except for Mr. Trevor Ariza. Yes, you, Mr. Ariza. Quit looking at me like that. Quit looking at me like that. Yes, I'm going to get you eventually. I'm going to get you, mate. I'm going to get you. But no, he is the last piece that I need on this canvas. Everybody on this board, pretty much, I've gotten either at the practice facility or public signings, even as well as Kobe. My dad went to a public signing event where he got him for me, and I think I was doing an inventory, or not inventory, I was doing an internship for a college football game that I was doing that day. But you know, out of all of these pieces that are on here, I would have to say by far the hardest piece that we got was probably Sun Yue. Yes, the so-called Chinese magic. So check this out. Back in like, I want to say 2000, maybe 11, maybe 2012, after the Lakers had already released him, he was trying out for the Washington Wizards. So knowing that he was going to be on the Washington Wizards roster, we went down to the Summer Pro League hoping that maybe we would have a chance on getting him. So after the game, you know, they had already played. He got probably about like 15, 20 minutes of game time. After the game, me, my dad, and a friend of mine were kind of hanging out afterwards, hoping that we can get him. So he came out of the tunnel really, really quick. And then before you know it, he was going back in. And I almost missed him. He had a hoodie on. He was super easy to miss. So we saw him last minute. We just started calling him, hey, Sun Yue, Sun Yue. He turned around, and then we're holding up the canvas. I was holding up my 2009 Wheaties box. And then he came over, signed it, spoke probably very, very little English, didn't say much, but he just took our items, signed them for us, and that was it. And he kind of went off into the wind. Never saw him again, and I believe that was the only opportunity I could have ever gotten him. And until this day, I mean, if I didn't get him then, I probably would have never had him on this. So thank you again, Sun Yue. Appreciate it, mate. These are uncut Forum ticket sheets from the 1980-81 season. Now this sheet here is actually signed by Cooper, Magic, Norm Nixon, Jamal Wilkes and Eddie Jordan. The other sheet that I have is signed by Jim Jones, let me see, Mark Landsberger, and somebody else on that. I don't quite remember exactly who else, but you know, to find the actual ticket stubs still together and intact, uncut, is super rare to find. And you know, I think I had picked this uncut sheet up about 15 years ago. Have just been working on it ever since. I think the other player was Kurt Rambis. I believe that's, oh no, yeah, I think it is Kurt Rambis. That's on the other one. I'm trying to fucking remember. I'm gonna feel stupid once I go back and look at it and be like, oh, it was this player. But yeah, I definitely figured I would share this as well. Again, you know, these early 80s ticket stubs are really hard to come by, signed by Laker legends here. And again, finding it uncut is really rare and hard to find. Alright, so I know in my last piece, I went over a little bit about the history and the rarity of this item here, but what I did forget to include was an image of Vern Mickelson's autograph during his earlier parts of his year in comparison to this. You know, again, this is obviously an autograph that he had signed later in his years. It's hard to say exactly like how old, but in comparison to his playing days and even maybe 20 years after his retirement, he had a very clean, nice looking autograph. So as you can see right here, this is an image of his autograph. That looks way different from this. So I just figured I'd include that really quick because I did forget to include that in my last video. So wanted to definitely share that this time around with you guys. Over here is something that I don't really show a whole lot of people when they come over to the Lakers Shrine. But this here is my collection of just signed Laker cards. So this is binder 1 of 4, as you can see. And I probably got somewhere close to in the range of maybe 1,400 signed Laker cards. And they're all kind of itemized, organized by years in each binder. This one here is kind of more like newer Lakers. You go from like Luke Walton, Brian Cook. There's Darius Morse, Sacre, Ebanks, Goudlock, Shannon Brown, Lamar, Cookie again. A lot of Brian Cook cards. But you go from this over to that. And this binder here is also probably more like recent Laker players. There's a lot of Javos Crittensons. These are kind of some cool cards here. These are actual letters from the last of Crittenson's name. I'm looking for just the C and the I to put together his whole last name, which is pretty cool. I haven't had much luck finding those, but you never know. They'll pop out when you least expect them. All right, Crittenton. Let's see who else we got in here. Kobe Call, Kwame, more Kwames, Rodmanovich. And these are all just from, a lot of these are from public signing events. A few of these are also, just cards I picked up super cheap at card shows, eBay, just trades. But a lot of these are all hand signed in person, just from the years and years and years of collecting. And again, it's pretty cool. I always seem to forget about this piece of my collection, about 1,400 signed Laker cards from throughout the years. Sasha. And then here we got Mr. Devin George. A lot of Devin George cards signed. Fisher. God, man, the list just kind of goes on here. So many. Samaki Medvedenko, Mitch Richmond, Penberthy, now part of the Lakers shooting coach, Brian Shaw, Shea Seals, Sean Rooks, rest in peace, mate. And then the very last binder that I have is all like my 1995, maybe 96 and earlier cards. Now these cards here, the first maybe 5, 6, 7 pages are all signed Cedric Ceballos cards. These are the cards that I was talking about in my last video where we signed my Ceballos shoes. I literally had like a stack, like I said, and he signed them all. So all these pages here All the signed cards that he signed for me. I mean, fucking how awesome is that? Nobody will do that nowadays, man. Thinking it's just some kind of opportunist, you know, eBay seller. You know, I just gave him the truth, and he saw who I was as a fan, as a person, as a collector. So it pretty much ends right there. So there was about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.5 pages of Sparrow signed cards. He signed it as Eddie Jones. More Eddie Jones, and it moves on over to Nick Van Axel, Eldon Campbell, more Eldon Campbell's, and it just goes on and on, guys. You know, Byron Scott. And these, like I said, this whole binder here is all from like 1996 and earlier signed cards. AC Green. A lot of vintage. You got Happy Hairston. He's already passed away. A lot of players in here that you probably never even heard of. A lot of them have kicked it already. Kermit Washington, he's in prison right now. Jim Price. Wow. Never realized I didn't realize I had so many signed cards by one particular player. Now that I look at these, it is pretty amazing though. I mean, just to look at a lot of these are from players that I had gotten a lot through my early years. You know, Jack Haley, he's now passed away. Terry Teagle sent these through the mail, but I think he's moved now. He's got a different address, so I haven't been able to send him anything else. So he's been hard to get a hold of now. Mark McNamara. All my Sedell 3 cards, those were actually all purchased. I've never had an opportunity to get him at all. Blade. James Edwards, Sam Bowie, I've sent some stuff out to them. George Lynch, I got him a couple of times at SPL. I've been able to get him there. Doug Christie. Pig Miller, got him at SPL. Man. Yeah, 1,400 of these. Orlando Ward, he's already passed away. And Big Game James. Kurt Rambis. Yeah, guys, I really didn't want to do too long of a video on this, go too in depth, but yeah, you can kind of get the point. But 4 binders of that, guys. Alright, mate, so last thing I want to show you guys some of the more recent jerseys I've either gotten as a gift, purchased, or have gotten signed. So this Mark Madsen jersey is actually one that I've had for a little while now. It took me years and years and years to finally get one. I got one. Got this one signed at the Summer Pro League last summer. Obviously, he was part of the Lakers' assistant coach. Got him to sign it in silver right there. Didn't come out the best, but you can see it. I know it's signed. I know it's real. That's all that matters, mate. So, Mark Madsen, white jersey, authentic. Really cool jersey to have. And happy to have it in the collection. Coming over here is the Mark Madsen authentic gold jersey. Got this one signed exactly at the same time that I got my white jersey signed. So this is a really small. I think this is size 40, so this actually fits me. But as you guys know, the only jersey I represent is my Lakers Sparrow jersey, and that's the only one I plan on wearing from here on out. But Mark Madsen gold. All right, another one is my authentic Michelin Ness. You can see the tag right there. 84, 85 Hardwood Classics. Signed by Kurt Rambis. He was sitting in the stands at a Summer Pro League game with his wife. I just approached him. There was a security guard standing fairly close to him. Tried not to pay any fucking attention to her and just went up to Kurt, asked if he would sign it. Signed it beautifully on the number here. And then as he'd already finished signing it, that's when the security guard came over. So good job on doing your job. Alright, so this was a piece I actually got for Christmas. I was super good this year, so Santa Claus, I guess, went to a Josh Hart public signing event, got this signed for me, and gave this to me as a gift. So it's a swingman. It's unauthentic, but, you know, you take what you get, and I still loved the gift nonetheless. So Josh Hart, Lakers first-round draft pick, letter of authenticity, signed jersey. It's cool. It's nice. You know, I've never actually seen an authentic signed Josh Hart jersey. It's a Swingman replica, but it's still nice and to add to the collection, so I really appreciate it. And last one up was another piece that I got from Santa this year. Was a Luol Deng Game 1 Laker jersey. So tags are down here. This is actually the tag of when it was actually worn. So really nice jersey. This is actually the only jersey that I have of the newer style jerseys that the players are currently wearing today. And it's just a beautiful light jersey. The material is so thin. But I can understand that for the players as they're just drenched in sweat, how that actually helps them out. So yeah, really, really cool piece. I mean, the stitching on this is just so different from a lot of the other ones that I currently own. But nonetheless, I must have been a good boy this year. So again, Santa, thank you so much. Alright, Laker Nation, I want to thank you guys for tuning in for another Laker Sparrow episode. I hope you guys enjoyed some of the pieces that I went over, not only in the last video, but in this video as well. And some of these pieces that I put together, the rarity, you know, and just how difficult some of these actually are to find. You know, I don't take for granted for the fact that I have some really awesome rare pieces in my collection and how long it's been taking me to put these together with the help of my dad as well, especially as I've been growing up. But some of these mean so much to me, and it's great to be able to share these with you guys as well. Maybe I can influence a few of you to do the same thing that I did when I was this tall. So, you know, it's never too late, and you're never too old to kind of put something together, whether it's something you love doing, whether it's collecting, or it can be a job, you know, a hobby, an interest, whatever it is, go for it all the way. Lakers play tonight against Houston. Let's get that win, you guys. First game, I believe, is a 5 or 6 game road trip. And all of that, I'll be in Brooklyn next week. Look for me, you know where to find me, what I look like. Let me know, give me a shout if you guys happen to see me on TV or whatnot. But let's get that win. Thank you guys again for tuning in. As always, don't forget to like, share, subscribe. Lakers for life. Let's get the win tonight, guys. Lakers for life.